What if I told you that women's bodies hold secrets so powerful, most men walk past them every single day without noticing? These secrets aren't mystical. They're backed by science, psychology, and evolutionary biology. And when you understand them, you'll start seeing signals you never realized were there. Let's start with the brain. Women's brains are wired differently from men's, especially in how they process emotions and sensations. Thanks to a thicker corpus callosum, the bridge that connects the two hemispheres, women integrate thought and feeling far more seamlessly. That means attraction for women isn't just physical, it's psychological, emotional, and then physical. When she thinks of a man she desires, her body doesn't wait for physical touch. It reacts instantly. Dopamine spikes. Oxytocin rises. Even her heartbeat subtly shifts. This seamless blend of thought and emotion is supported by decades of psychological research. For instance, a landmark study published in Psychological Science found that women's brains show more activity in the limbic system, the emotional center, when viewing images of people they find attractive compared to men. This means that for women, attraction activates not just sexual desire, but deep emotional processing as well. That's why a simple conversation, a shared laugh, or a meaningful glance can ignite a powerful response in her body. Another study from Stanford University revealed that when women feel emotionally connected, their brains release even higher levels of oxytocin, the bonding hormone, enhancing both their sense of trust and their physical responsiveness. Studies in the Journal of Sex Research show that over 90% of women experience arousal purely from mental stimulation. Just thoughts, fantasies, or daydreams. No touch required. To put it simply, if she's into you, her mind alone can make her body respond in ways most men underestimate. This is echoed by Dr. Meredith Chivers, a leading researcher in sexual psychophysiology, who found that women's bodies can become aroused simply by imagination or subtle cues, often without conscious intent. In her experiments, women's physical responses often preceded their awareness of feeling turned on. This means that a woman's body might know before her mind does, picking up on subtle vibes, confidence, humor, or kindness. Now here's a fact that still shocks many men. Women's bodies are hardwired to detect compatibility through scent. Evolutionary psychologists discovered that women unconsciously pick up on MHC genes, major histocompatibility complex, through smell. These genes are linked to immune system strength. A man whose scent feels right to her isn't just making her feel comfortable. Her body is literally flagging him as a biologically ideal partner. That's why some women say they could just sniff their man all day. It's not random. It's biology screaming attraction. This phenomenon has been robustly demonstrated in the famous sweaty t-shirt study, first published in Nature by Dr. Klaus Wedekind. In this experiment, women were asked to smell t-shirts worn by men for several days and rate their attractiveness. Consistently, women preferred the scent of men whose MHC genes were most dissimilar to their own, a biological strategy to produce healthier offspring. More recent research in Proceedings of the Royal Society B adds that women's scent preferences can even shift with hormonal changes, such as during ovulation, when their sense for genetic compatibility peaks. This means her body has a radar for the right match, often without her conscious awareness. But it doesn't stop there. Psychology also tells us women communicate attraction in microsignals most men miss. Dr. Paul Ekman's research on microexpressions revealed that tiny cues, a lip bite, dilated pupils, a quick flick of the eyes down to your lips, all flash within milliseconds. She may not even be aware she's doing it, but her body is leaking information faster than her words ever could. Building on Ekman's findings, Dr. Monica Moore of Webster University observed women in social settings and catalogued dozens of subtle flirting behaviors: playing with jewelry, adjusting clothing, tilting the head, or exposing the inner wrist. Moore's studies showed that men who noticed and responded to these signals were much more likely to form connections. Furthermore, research from the Kinsey Institute found that these micro-behaviors often serve as green lights for further interaction, signaling comfort, trust, and attraction on a subconscious level. Here's another little-known fact. Her voice gives her away. A study published in Evolution and Human Behavior found that women's voices unconsciously rise in pitch when speaking to men they're attracted to. It's not acting. It's biology creating a subtle signal of femininity and interest. If you notice her tone getting softer, sweeter, or higher when she talks to you compared to others, chances are you've sparked something deep. This vocal shift is not only a sign of interest, but also a cue that triggers attraction in men. Another study from Albright College found that both genders rate voices with these subtle pitch changes as more attractive and trustworthy. And in a cross-cultural study, researchers found that women's voices become even more melodic during ovulation, the time when they are most fertile, suggesting an evolutionary purpose behind this subtle signal. And then there's body posture. Psychologists call it open body language. When a woman feels genuine desire, she subconsciously exposes vulnerable areas: her neck, wrists, and chest. She leans in, faces you directly, or mirrors your movements. On the flip side, crossed arms, turned shoulders, and leaning away reveal disinterest she might not verbalize. Men who ignore this end up investing where the interest isn't real. Research from Princeton University shows that open body language not only signals comfort, but actually increases feelings of attraction and connection on both sides. In laboratory studies, both men and women reported higher levels of warmth and interest when their conversation partner displayed openness and mirroring behaviors. This is echoed by Amy Cuddy's famous studies on power poses, which suggest that body language doesn't just reflect inner feelings. It can actually shape them, making desire a self-reinforcing loop. Now let's talk about the eyes. Pupil dilation is one of the most primal signs of attraction. In fact, studies from the University of Chicago show that pupils dilate when someone looks at someone they find sexually appealing. That means when you're talking to her and notice her pupils widening, her body is revealing a truth she could never say out loud. This response is so reliable that researchers in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that participants judged faces with dilated pupils as more attractive, even when they weren't consciously aware of the change. What's more, Dr. Eckhard Hesse's classic research on pupillometry revealed that pupil dilation is an involuntary response, making it one of the most honest signals of desire. But here's where things get more surprising. Women's lips, yes, their lips, are one of the most sensitive nonverbal indicators of arousal. Research in nonverbal communication shows that increased blood flow during arousal often makes lips appear fuller and more flushed. It's why lip color and lipstick are so powerful in attraction. They mimic the natural signs of desire. And here's where the psychology gets raw. A woman's lips are directly tied to subconscious arousal cues, which means that what her lips reveal often mirrors what her body is experiencing deep inside. In fact, a study in the journal Archives of Sexual Behavior found that men subconsciously rated women with redder, fuller lips as more attractive, associating these cues with higher levels of estrogen and fertility. This subtle biological feedback loop reinforces attraction on both sides, often without anyone realizing exactly why. So here's the little-known truth that shocks most men. Her lips secretly reveal that her body, yes, even her most intimate parts, can get wet just by thinking of you. Because for women, desire begins in the mind. When the attraction is real, the body follows instantly. No touch required, no begging, no convincing, just raw, psychological chemistry that flips her entire system into arousal mode. And that's the real takeaway. Women's bodies are constantly sending signals, little psychological cues that reveal desire long before words do. Most men miss them, but the ones who pay attention can tell the difference between genuine attraction and polite indifference, between maybe someday and right now. So the next time you're wondering where you stand, don't just listen to her words. Watch her body, study her signals, because her mind and her body are speaking. And if you know how to read them, you'll never be left guessing again.